guys, welcome to the mental ward, where you don't have to be mental. You don't have to be, how's that go? I knew I was going to say it. You don't have to be mental. But it sure does help.
Yeah, there you go. Wow. Impressive.
Thank you. You know we were gonna screw something up. We got the sound right?
Yeah, everything sounds good. Yeah.
So, let's start off by thanking everybody, Abraham Drinking Podcast, for having us do these shows. They also have, they're on Monday nights at 6. They also have Talking Tribe with Tito on at 8:30 on Sunday.
I think it's 8 on Sundays, yes. 8 on Sundays.
8:30 on Sunday. It was 8:30.
Whatever the hell Tito wants to do, I don't know.
Whatever Tito says. And 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday is Coffee with Tree. And then, of course, us, the Mental Ward. Okay, you could watch us on Facebook right now, or tomorrow. You can watch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, and Instagram. There might be a couple more in there that I don't know.
I think you forgot about Spotify.
I said Spotify.
Did you?
Spotify.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did say.
Well,
I'm a witness.
We got witnesses.
Yeah, Booman
I
is
did
our,
something
is our,
right.
is our
I did
witness.
something right.
I'm proud of you.
Tonight we have guest Tim Booman Boothby with us. We are in the same town and never did comedy with each other till February.
February, yeah.
February
That's what it
21st, right behind you. On your way out, you got to sign that.
Okay, great.
So, that was an interesting night, full of fun.
Really enjoyed that show.
There was that was the best show of my life. I'm sure you've had better shows than that.
It was pretty close. As a number of people, I think we were well over 250.
That's what I heard. Yeah, it was 250 plus. Yeah.
We were at 250 plus at the Estabula Eagles when we first started, like our third or fourth month. I did, because I'm a member up there, and I did a lot of promoting, and I was drinking at the time, so I'm like, oh, we're so
Yeah. Calm the nerves.
And then it was like $5 a ticket that didn't hurt either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. Well, the club actually threw in an extra $300 so I could afford to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a good night. Plus, I think it was crazy, like $250 on 50-50 we ran. I mean, there was some money being made that was the best comedy night I had for money.
Well, that's good.
For sure. Most of them don't turn out like that. A lot of times I actually have to pay out of my pocket to make the special guest and the headliner. Usually I'm real close, you know. Yeah. I like to try to get money to everybody if I can. If I make money, everybody makes money.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not in this for no money or nothing. I don't know.
You're in it for the love of the game.
I do love comedy. Like I'm out doing something all the time. I know that you've done reverse raffles.
Oh, we've done. I actually started comedy back. Well, how I got started was I used to impersonate. Place I worked. I was only 19, 20 years old. And I worked with, all these guys were like in their 50s.
Yeah.
And these guys were characters, every one of them.
Yeah.
And I used to impersonate them. And then I do a lot of other impersonations. Of course, now the famous persons have passed away. But I started impersonating them, and then I met Mousy through a mutual friend. Went up to the old Cleveland Comedy Club where the baseball stadium is in Cleveland. Went up there a couple times, and then Mousy and I worked for a company called Energy Talent, and we worked with Jimmy Malone, who went on to be, I think he's retired now.
Wasn't he a writer?
He was DJ DJ in Cleveland for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
And so we did that, and then we started doing local stuff. And
who got those gigs?
Mousy and I normally had to facilitate all that.
Yeah, right.
And
like I do now, pretty much.
Back then in the 80s, no social media,
Right, it's all word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Shit like that. It ain't like today.
And we want to have a show, and we want entertainment. And it's funny because I remember going into some of these places, especially the bars, and you're actually not arguing, but trying to tell the bartender, hey, could you shut the pool table down?
Yeah.
Could you
shut the TVs off?
Shut the TVs off.
I mean, at least turn them down, whatever,
So,
you still get that little bit.
Sometimes you still fight with it, like if it's not like a place that is centralized for your gig that you have, and you're still having people come in to get food and shit like that, like a restaurant where you're doing a gig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You still got to fight with the Tribe game on TV or something.
We did one in Orwell in Headliner, which I understand, a very good headliner we had that night. He said, Jimmy, tell him to shut the TVs off. I'm like, best I could do is get them to turn it all the way down, because it was a sports bar,
Yeah.
They would not shut the TVs off.
Yeah. Yeah, so you fought all that, and then we went back and forth, and then leading on to that is we had heard that a small comedy club in Harbor Creek on the east side of Erie, Juniors, was moving downtown, and so I can remember this vividly. It was, I think it was, had to have been 90. It was definitely sure it was 1999. And I just sent them a letter, and I remember I put a 37-cent stamp on it, and I said, congratulations on your show, yada yada. I says, I have Mousy Benedict and I do local comedy here. If you ever need anybody, because we're less than an hour away, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Never heard anything from that. Almost a year went by, and then I was at work, and I got a call on a Tuesday or Wednesday and said, hey, can you come up and open, do 10 or 15 minutes for the show? Sight unseen, the guy that was supposed to do it canceled. And so went up there, and went off pretty well. The only thing rule that they had was you couldn't be there more than once in a calendar year because they didn't want repetition.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
But you do 5 shows. They do a show Thursday night, which is normally a benefit thing, and then you do Friday. The shows Friday and Saturday are pretty tight.
Yeah.
But it's
they do double shows, right?
Double shows those nights. And one of the funniest things I had was I would always, they play their. Okay, we're almost ready to perform the music before the show. And so you get over there to your cue, and they had a guest at the end of Saturday night, they would have a guest MC for the following week. It would be somebody out of the crowd.
Yeah.
And of course, if they win and they come up there and they bring people, I mean, that's a good advertisement, but so the one time I was up there, I'm ready to do my cue and everything, and this guy goes up and he does this like 7-minute, 10-minute long one punchline.
Oh wow!
And I could hear the crowd just, because they just sat down, had their drink,
Right.
And the crowd is just dying.
Right.
And so finally he gets done and introduces me. I forget what his name was. So I get up there and I got to turn this around in a hurry.
Exactly.
And I said, let's hear it for Steve, ladies and gentlemen. And he got one of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I got a chance to meet Steve's parents before the show. And I got to tell you, they're the nicest 2 guys you ever want to meet. And that turned the crowd, and then I was able to do my set and keep going.
Good.
Crowd control is
very big.
Very important sometimes, for sure.
And then we had one guy, the owner actually had to get up and get the MC off. He was pretty hammered, and he just thought he was going to sit there and talk to the people most of the night.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty decent. Most of them did pretty well, but yeah, that was.
It's not so easy to get in there now like that, though.
Oh no, they've got
You got to send them a tape of you. I sent them a tape already of me.
They're running some high finance over there. Yeah. I have no idea what it is even to get in there
just
now.
Like, they have they're famous people, but they're not famous to everybody.
They're not like A-listers type deal, yeah?
No, they're not the A-listers, but they're some very qualified comics go through there. Yeah. I do know that. Yeah. It's sort of like Funny Farm and Crackpots. Yeah. We'll be at Crackpots at the end of the month, me and Jimmy doing a show. So
So did juniors, and then Mousy and I would still from time to time to do stuff, and then it was, every once in a while it would be a long time before we do a show and go, well, maybe this is it. Yeah. Maybe this next show, if I get called, this might be the last show I ever do. And then we did actually a reverse raffle here in Conneaut about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, Mousy told me about
that.
And you know how I feel about Conneaut shows.
Yeah, yeah. And so, and then what I did is I went up to Menor. I started to get the itch again. You get that itch like, man, I haven't done this in so long. I said, I'm just going to go up to Amateur Night up in Menor. And that's where Milton, and then I just someone had sent me the flyer about Willoughby Brewery and
Tricky Tortoise.
Yeah, Tricky Tortoise, and I
was going to ask you how you got involved in that one, but I didn't know that you had previously met Milton and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had met Milton about 8 months prior to that, and I was surprised when he said. Of course, I not sent a few things, but told him a few things about opening shows that I had done at a lot of juniors, and I enjoy it. I mean, I always consider it a challenge to be the first one up.
You are somebody who's out of the ordinary. That I really appreciate whenever I do shows. It is really hard to find somebody, because I know the feeling, because I open a lot of shows myself. Yeah. It sucks. I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't like it.
I think it's a challenge, and I don't know. Well, I guess when I get there, you got the jitters. You still get the jitters. Yeah. Been doing it for so long that you still get jitters or whatever, but still enjoy doing it. But then I met Milton, and he said he got over 200 emails for people.
That's what he said.
So I don't know.
And then I started to think about everybody that was on that list. There is nobody from the west side. Euclid, our way is everybody on that show.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Well, Monty's from Brooklyn, I guess.
Oh, Brooklyn, yeah.
So then during the show, I was talking to Nancy and you, and Nancy goes, hey, and Monty, and they say, hey, are you available another month or two to, I forget what show it was, but it got canceled or whatever changed. But I said, well, just keep me in mind. And then just started doing some shows. And
you're in your second life of comedy right now.
Second life, third life, or
whatever you want to call it.
Geriatric section of my comedy life, I guess.
Do you think there's any jokes from the 90s that you don't have to tell them or nothing, but that you could bring back that would be successful in today's society? Because you got to remember that most of the time, I don't know about, you've done pretty much the same kind of shows I do. They're 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds. They're not usually kids or nothing.
Yeah. I always add and delete, and then I also have to put in there that I forgot. I'll look at a list, and I'll get done with the show and go, man, look how many things I missed.
Oh yeah, me too.
But I was hitting something really hard, and I got a good laugh. And I always tell people, they go, well, how long material you do? I said, well, all depends on the crowd. I says, I've done 30-minute sets, but if nobody's laughing, I'll be done in 2 minutes. I mean, if I don't hear any feedback, then I start hitting highlights because I'm looking I'm looking to get
the pop, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to get people to get started.
Right.
Yeah. You know, it's like, hey.
That's why I'm so happy with my. Actually, it's my first real joke. The anal bead one doesn't count. My first real joke about my OVIs.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with that because now I've been put in. I think I have 10 jokes in it total.
Yeah.
So that joke, it takes 2.5 minutes. Every 30 seconds, there's a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get a little laughter, a little bit of laughter, and then when I am opening, that's got everybody in the mood to be laughing a little bit, you know, for the next people.
It's important to continue the engagement, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
And I know that everybody that's ready to come on is looking to see what's
right. They're reading the room and
reading the room.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't like opening, is because I like to have more of a time to read the room, because my brand is a little bit more raunchy than most.
Yeah.
So,
but yours is geared a lot more towards 40 and under.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Where you have a tendency to once in a while struggle because it's geared that way.
Yeah.
And we're playing a 40, 50, 60.
Yeah. And you're used to that.
Like, what the fuck's going on here?
And I'll tell you what, it's there's been times where I was able to pivot well. There's been times where I haven't been able to. And, you know, that's just part of adjusting and things like that.
And that's why I tease myself a lot, because people can, I'm not pointing toward them. And so, yeah, it's, and like, I refer back to juniors when we did those 5 shows on a weekend. Everybody did almost exactly the same material for those 5 shows.
Yeah.
And every show had a different reaction.
Right.
And
you could do one at 7 and one at 9, laughing their ass off at 7 and dead at 9.
Yeah. And vice versa, yeah.
Usually the 9 o'clock hit better than the 7, I would imagine, because people got a little liquor in them. And
yeah, but that holds about 250 people. And that was...
it does?
Yeah.
I've never been in there.
Yeah, it was... and then, you know, that's the other thing is I've done shows there and we'd go to the bar because people had to pass through the bar to go out and, you know, kind of promote the place and everything. So that was a lot of fun. And a lot of people come up and say, hey, they congratulate you. Hey, you did a nice job. And then I've done shows where they've been kind of quiet. And you see them after the show and they're like, man, you did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, jeez.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's just like you didn't laugh once at my joke, but thank you for the fist bump and telling me that I was awesome.
Yeah, because.
But sometimes people aren't laughers, and you have more than one in that crowd.
Well, and I think a lot of people get accustomed to watching stuff on TV, and they don't laugh out loud. They're not, you know.
Yeah, the amount of times
you know what we need to do? We need to find like 5 fucking people that laugh their ass off.
Like an infectious laugh type person.
We need to hire them to follow us around and make us look good.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you got so many people that, like, they'll send each other, like, these funny videos, and they'll type LOL whenever they send it back. They didn't actually laugh out loud, so that's kind of
those people sitting between the stage and the bar at the Cove, those were Carmen's people.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a couple ladies there that they were losing it.
Yeah, that guy had a couple laughing too.
And I was kind of engaging with them quite a bit.
They were easy to engage with. They were good people to engage with.
Yeah.
Carmen brought a good crew to that one.
Yeah, well, we're thankful for
Thumbs
that.
Thumbs up to you, Carmen.
So
if you're never watching this.
Carmen's going, what?
Who the hell's this guy? Not again.
Not again.
Not those assholes that fucking left me with some drunk on the stage.
Yeah. He said you put 4 motherfuckers in front of me.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great. Absolutely.
Actually, he may have been in my top 3 of professional performers that I've met. I mean, you can tell that he's a pro at what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nobody really beats my all-time favorite. Robert Coleman's my favorite right now that's in the Cleveland scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just amazing. He just makes you laugh your ass off. Yeah, I've heard his jokes like 10 times he's worked for me. He makes me laugh every fucking time.
Yeah. Now, I asked Carmen, he does a lot of corporate.
Yeah.
And he says, corporations hire him to go in there to be like a OSHA inspector and mess with their people at work.
Really?
For their corporation. And then they'll have a banquet or benefit at the night, and they go, hey, wait a minute. That was the OSHA guy, and Carmen
telling jokes
is actually the comedian. So, yeah.
He never told. That's pretty cool, though. That's funny.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun.
That's funny.
I tell you what, I go back old school for. It's hard for some people to understand. Is you look back and we used to listen to George Carlin, and Cheech and Chong. Now, Cheech and Chong would have those skits on the albums.
Yeah.
Like going in the drive-in.
Yeah.
You know, and
I remember all those skits.
Hey, man, open up the trunk.
Hey,
it's raining cats and dogs out here, you know.
Yeah.
But you had, as a kid, you saved up money to buy that album, and you'd listen to them, and you had to imagine how that scene went.
Yeah.
You know, and actually the other part of how I got started was when I first met my girlfriend, now my wife. I was new to Ashtabula, and she knew everybody. Yeah. And I'd go there, and I kind of break the ice, and I almost try to memorize Steve Martin's album. Like many people come to me and they say, hey, how can you be such a swinging sex guy? You know,
I'm a wild and crazy guy.
It's not because I can make love up to one time at night. It's not because
I forgot that whole album until you started fucking doing it.
Not because I say the things a woman wants to hear, like, are you through yet?
I forgot all about that shit. You can do that right on stage. Nobody's hardly going to remember that.
Yeah, they're not going to remember it, no. And then I used to do, I do Reagan. Well, here we go again. Hey, Jimmy Carter, what are you going to do? You used to have my brother Billy. You used to have Billy Beer. Remember that?
Yeah, Billy Beer.
What are you going to do? And then I did Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest fighter of all time. Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Larry Holmes made a fool out of me. Being champ was quite a breeze till I ended up with Parkinson's disease.
That's funny shit right there.
That's it.
I like the Mike Tyson thing that you did.
Yeah, the Mike Tyson. I actually did the commercial about 3 weeks after that fight, and then I started hearing. And he ran it on the regular station here, and then he put it on the AM station during the Tribe games, and then I started hearing similar commercials like that up in Cleveland and stuff, because somebody heard it. But mine was like I said, it was 3-4 weeks right after that fight, and I made 3 takes of it. They go, just go up there, go in a booth, and they'll play it back to you, and you say that's good or bad. And I did 3 takes, and
felt like the third one was the charm.
Third one was the charm. Yeah. And, you know, because like I said, Don King's camp's down there.
Yeah, in like Orwell area. Yep.
I get a load of this.
What's that? I don't. What was that?
It was like a boxing camp that they had.
In
Orwell. Yeah.
Now get a load of this. I was at a golf event there at the golf course in Middlefield, and we were just coming off the golf course, and you had to go through the restaurant to go to the back of the back room where we're having the outing dinner, and guess who's in the restaurant is Don King.
Yeah.
So I actually, after being on the course and having a few adult beverages, I pushed my way up to the front, and he's actually tall. He's all of 6'6" or 6'7".
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Yeah, his wife passed away about, 5-6 years ago, but I did my Mike Tyson.
He's not like a promoter or nothing anymore.
No.
Yeah, I think he's retired
you
from
did
all
your
that.
Mike Tyson and what?
So I went up there and did my Mike Tyson commercials for him, and he just laughed because he knows he took all of Mike's money too. You know?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know,
Robin Gibbons took a couple bucks too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, I read Tyson's book where Mike would go to New York, back home in the Bronx, and he would blow $250,000 on clothes and jewelry just for a weekend. He had no concept of money.
Yeah,
right.
You know.
That kind of reminds me. Did you ever hear the story about how Ricky Henderson got his first $1 million check?
No.
He framed it on his wall.
Yeah, and he never cashed it.
Yeah, he never cashed it. That was a character right there too, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I like how he spoke in the third person. Ricky's 3 for 3 today.
Yeah.
Let's see. We hadn't even asked you. Well, we sort of asked you a couple questions that I do have, but I haven't really technically asked you to.
Haven't asked me yet. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
and
caller.
Just to let y'all know, this is an interactive show as well. If you have any questions or
nobody's on there
like
yet.
That, we got people that are coming in and out, but nobody said a damn thing to us. So, just wanted to remind you that it is an interactive show. I watch the comments like a hawk. I keep looking down at my phone. There aren't any damn comments, so if you want to say anything, go right ahead.
If you want to tell Jimmy to fuck off, go ahead.
That's also fine with me.
Question number
1. So we sort of went through this, but it's like, what is the biggest show you ever did?
Yeah, doing juniors and
juniors was, like you said, over 100, but that was a higher caliber of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And at Tricky Tortoise.
Yeah.
Where you got to actually meet some, next range comedians, what I mean?
Yeah, because I worked with, I opened the one time for Brad Upton.
Right, Brad Upton.
Yeah.
He does a lot at Crackpots. So, yeah, I've heard a couple of his reels. He's pretty funny. I've never got to really watch a lot of his stuff yet. But, yeah, I'm sure you got to meet quite a few going through there, and they might have been a little bit lower then, but then they got higher as the years went by.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny because people, I'm the only comic up there that still has a day job. These guys are on tour.
Right.
But you would see people after the show want to get the headliner's autograph.
Right.
And then they get the middle guy. And then you see they're pondering whether they want to come over to me and get a few people did ask me for my autograph, which I thought was cool because you're really pumped up after doing 5 good shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, back to Ashtabula and back to work on Monday.
When we did that show, I stayed a little bit later than everybody else, and they were grabbing posters off the walls, having me sign them. And shit.
Oh yeah, you got to sign autographs. Yeah. I bet you felt fancy.
Yeah.
Mean Tree were signing posters up too.
Thank you. Cool. I got fuck off Jimmy 3. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who was that from?
David.
So I got a wild show that I ended up having to do. We got time to explain it, but
you got time.
So we
still got another half hour.
So Jim Happy down here in the harbor.
He's a magic guy, right?
He used to do magic comedy. I don't know if he still does it. I haven't talked to him in years and years and years. But he called me one time and said, hey, I overbooked. And he said, we're doing this, he said they're doing this comedy at this bar in the basement, and they're having adult entertainment.
EAC?
No, this is in between Asheville and Geneva.
Okay.
And he said, we just do a couple of spots in between the adult entertainment. But here I thought it was,
right, strippers
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get to it, and it's 2 or 3 dozen hillbilly girls for a bachelorette party.
Oh.
So I get there, and
fit in there.
the male stripper.
I was going to say male strippers then.
The male stripper is dressed as a cop, and his stage name is Officer Ramrod.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And
yeah,
all the hillbilly girls start drinking pitchers and pitchers
Kamikazes?
So after the second time I went up there, and after they had all their kamikazes, they're up there, and you see them there,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. I said, I got out of there with just out of the skin of my teeth to get out of there. And it's like, I go, I don't really want to know if I want to do these comedy shows. You know?
Was Officer Ramrod a nice guy?
He was a nice guy. I'm surprised he got out of there. Probably didn't. I don't know.
That sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. You like Officer Ramrod, don't you?
No, about 24 hillbilly girls, I'd be fitting right in.
Kamikazes, yeah.
Especially back in my day.
Yeah. Well, it's, and I said, comedy's therapy. It's a hobby therapy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Addiction.
Let me ask you one of our newest questions.
Oh, boy.
We got into last
Oh, my
Did you
God.
know that he has anxiety?
Here, I got one for you.
Do you have something?
I have anxiety.
You have anxiety.
Anxiety.
What is anxiety?
You get nervous, dude.
We get nervous over anything. That's not called anxiety.
There's different levels.
Yeah.
It's your subconscious worrying yourself to death, basically.
Do you have a subconscious, like whenever, like you're not doing anything, right? Do you have like a inner monologue inside of your head?
I don't really know what you're asking.
Like, say we're silent in this room right now. Yeah. Do you hear something in your head, like that's your voice telling you, like, oh, I gotta clean the cat's shit box later, or something like that?
Well, everybody does that.
That's not true.
Everybody fucking has that.
That's not true. I know
That's
some people.
normal.
I know some people that don't.
What's her condition?
Fucking normal.
No. Normal is people that think about shit they got to do, what's going on.
Yeah, but do you
life.
hear it in your head, like your own voice talking to you?
Everybody does.
Well,
No, they don't.
Back in 2014, I was going through some other health issues, but one of them was extreme anxiety.
Okay.
Of course, I don't even have a adjective for the kind of boss I had at the time, which just drove me over the top.
Right.
I went into work one day, and my blood pressure was 100 points higher than it's supposed to. Took me by ambulance to hospital. Got checked out for 2 days, and then I was off work for about a month and a half. Lost my voice. Would have got down to a point where the anxiety was so bad that just doing normal tasks seemed like you couldn't even do them.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I just consider myself lazy though.
Yeah.
You're a procrastinator?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Habitual.
man, I gotta clean up this apartment for fucking.
But now this was back in 2014, and it took 2 years to get on to take the right medicine so I could feel like I was function normal.
It's tough to find the right medication.
Yeah, because the medicine, when you first get on it, they take you at the low doses, so you're like this. They go, hey, I feel really good in the morning, and then all of a sudden you dive at the afternoon. And I go, no, I'm doing too much of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But it is, and I spoke freely of it, which I don't, I got nothing to hide. It's just that some people are like, well, but I said, if I broke my arm, I'd talk about it. I'd get treatment for it.
Right.
But some people go, well, if you have something wrong mentally, you shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, but that's sort of normal today, but is it really something like that? Okay, I understand your kind of anxiety when it gets that bad and your blood pressure, but do I have anxiety because I run around all over the place before a show because I'm trying to get everything straight?
No.
And I think about what's going on?
No.
Trying to figure out everything? Because I'm one man doing 10 jobs.
No.
You understand?
Yeah, but then it drops back down.
Yeah.
Where anxiety, if you have really bad anxiety,
I got a comment.
you have really bad anxiety, it stays with you 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
No, you just get nervous sometimes.
Yeah, I get nervous. Usually it's because of my fucking wording, because I'm a hillbilly and I fuck things up, like the beginning of the thing.
Yeah, like the intro, yes. So, like you said, though, finding that right medication mix was probably crucial in making sure that your normal everyday life is easier for you.
Right.
So, like for me, I think I started taking, I think the first time I ever took like an antidepressant, I was like 13 or 14. I didn't find the right mix for myself until I was 24. Like, yeah. So it's important to know that like you're going to go through those lapses and everything like that. And that's part of why he wants to talk about these questions where he's like, well, everybody's screwy in comedy. They have their own quirks to them. And
I think I just enjoy making people laugh.
Yeah.
I was a project engineer for 30 years. And if you talk to anybody, I would say a great majority of them would have a smile on their face. Oh, yeah, I know Tim. Because, and have a smile.
Yeah.
Versus, have some bosses, boy, you mention their name and go, oh, I hate that SOB, or, I grew up in an age where I always respect everybody. I always when I meet somebody, I put them at the highest level, and I let their actions and character
determine where they go.
Where they stay.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's a good way to be, though.
I do
the same thing pretty much.
I keep everybody in the highest regard.
You're my friend until you fuck it up or whatever. That's the way I'm saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's not the right way to say it, but
right.
In simplified terms, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to simplify it.
Yeah. You're always going to simplify it.
But there's a lot of people that don't get help, and they suffer with it. And mine, it just got to a point where, I felt for probably 6 months, I felt like I was having a heart attack all day long. Mm-hmm. And I go, if I ever have a heart attack, I'll never know because I think it's anxiety.
Yeah. Right. Since we are on mental health issues right now, can I take like 3 to 5 minutes out to talk about our project?
Sure.
You're going to be involved in that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's something that's very important to you, right? So, with your own life.
It's important to everybody, I think. I mean, I'm getting phone calls off the hook, messages. I want to be on there. I have this. I have that.
Yeah.
A lot of different
We're going to
people.
have to start spotlighting people in the event here soon.
We are going to start. We're going to get some headshots and start putting them up there. That might be mine.
Oh, okay.
I actually know how to do that.
So you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, I got more questions.
Oh, okay.
I'm just taking a time out since we're on the mental health thing right now to talk about our festival. August 16th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be starting a festival at the... You got the flyer with you?
I do not have it on me currently.
You suck.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know the address, though.
3954 Plymouth Ridge Road in Kingsville, Ohio. Almost said Connie. In Kingsville, Ohio. We're going to kind of be in the sticks a little bit. But we're going to be having a good time. It's
going to be festival style. We are going to have prepared spots for tents if you want to spend the night. We're going to have bonfire going. We're going to have food. We're going to have 50-50s, silent auctions. All the proceeds will go towards mental health awareness for whatever organization that my brother David Ward decides he wants to put it towards one of those. So I just wanted to get that out there because we have to do this every week. Not that we have to, we want to do this every week to promote this. We're hoping to have, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people this year and have it get bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, I mean, this will be the first year of the event. We hope that it goes well enough that we can make this happen every single summer because it's something that not only myself, not only the two men that are with me right now have to deal with every day. He might just have a little bit of anxiety, but you know damn well he goes through his own hardships too. Let's let our voices be together and have a community know what that's about, right? So that's my big thing on it. I'm really excited to be able to host all the comedians that we're having. We're still working on some music things. We'll get there with that. Going to have some vendors that are going to be selling some materials, and they're going to help us out as well. So just, I like the idea of having everybody come together, as well as just having some different things that they can come see as well. It's not just going to be a one-trick pony with just our ha-ha funnies, right?
Oh, you got Abraham Drinkin's going to be there. George will be there. Spinning some records if we're not doing anything else.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll go up and do some karaoke.
Maybe. Maybe you do it in the Cartman voice.
Oh, yeah, maybe Come Sail Away by Cartman comes out that night. Who knows?
Okay, back to the man of the hour. We just had to get that out there. I'm going to interrupt everybody every week for this.
Okay.
But I know that you are going to be participating in that event. We have discussed it already, and we're looking forward to the outcome of what's going to actually happen. Seems to be moving right along.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're at a point where we're just piecing it all together. And it's not the most time in the world, but I think that we're going to have a great product out there, and it's going to be worth it for people to come on out and hang out with us. And obviously, all the proceeds go to that mental health awareness, so it's for a great cause.
Okay, back to business. What is the biggest, you might have already said this too, I don't think so, the biggest comic you ever performed with?
I would say...
that you can remember. Probably some of the people that you worked with probably went on to bigger and better things.
Might have Brad Upton is probably the one that sticks out the most.
Yeah, Brad Upton.
Yeah.
Good comic, like I said. I have not heard enough of his stuff, but he is good.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of him?
I'm not familiar with him.
Not familiar with him?
Yeah.
He's not really your style.
Well, that doesn't mean...
I know.
I'm just saying, my style
if you're going to see it, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, Brad Upton, you're going to flip to the next reel, because you can automatically tell that he's not your style.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But I have watched some of his stuff.
Yeah.
He is good. Most of the reason why I think I watched it is because I know that he goes to crackpots, and some of the people's work opening for him. I think Ryan Rogers and what's his name? From Crackpots, the redhead, Ginger.
What was it? Trevor Scott?
Yeah.
His name? Yeah.
The borrowed kidney guy. Yeah, I think they opened for Brad Upton down there. So that's how I stopped and looked at it, because I knew that they were associated with it. This is pretty hard. What are you, 65, you said?
65, yeah.
Do you have plans on what you want to do right now with your comedy to push forward, or do you like what you're doing? Do you want to stay right here, or do you want to go on?
Right now, the way my schedule is, I'm enjoying just being able to do
little spot things.
Spots there, here and there.
Yep.
It might change. I might be eventually moving closer to Cleveland to my daughter. Don't know yet. But,
well, if you do that, then you're going to have a wide open opportunity.
Yeah.
And one way to get that opportunity is to go through Wardy's Laugh Factory.
Right.
Because they give you more opportunities than anybody else in the state of Ohio.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't
it? Yeah. Look at that self-promo. Wow.
Yeah, see, I'm giving them those layups.
Yeah.
He's giving
you a layup, and you're giving him a layup, and he's trying to give you a hand job.
I'll take the assist.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, you know.
That's pretty good.
Question number 42.
Yeah.
42. I only have like 7.
7? That's all?
How did you get the name Booman?
Well, it's a nickname. You know, Boothby's an old English name.
Yeah.
It means open buffet.
Hell, I can believe that.
You tell that. No, but they're just a nickname, and it's just kind of stuck. I do have some YouTube videos under Boothbyisms.
Okay.
And it's just a couple of clips I did. My daughter got it set up, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I've got a few things on there. But the Boomans, yeah, or they'll shorten it just to Boo, but yeah.
I thought it was because like you got booed so many times.
Oh, bull! No. We like George Carlin. We take those people out back and beat the crap out of them. Yeah.
I really thought that. Well, they got booed, so he said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go Boo, man."
Yeah.
No, he's just really scary.
No. No. You know, part comic. Part bouncer, you know. We'll take all the people out. And it's funny, is only one time when I was at juniors, I think it was a late show. And I was starting the late show, and I was, for some reason, pacing back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
And I heard a guy, and he wasn't heckling me, but loud like those two girls we had. Yeah. But you could tell he was...
directing it towards you?
He was just really drunk, but it was just loud.
Like belligerent, yeah.
And all I did was I turned and looked, because the way they have the stage and the lights, you can't see more than... Right.
Sort of like right now if you look over back.
Yeah, look over here, I'm blinded, but you can't see more on a table in front of you.
Like at Funny Farm or whatever.
Yeah, Funny Farm.
I told him when he first went up to the Funny Farm with me, I'm like, watch the fucking lights, they'll fuck you up. Yeah. Now I could see, because I do it every week.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, I went up there, I was like, oh, fuck, he was right.
Yeah, where's my sunglasses?
And I sort of like that setting, because if you cannot see them, you just rattle off, and you hope that when it starts hitting, you just keep hammering down, you got him.
But yeah, and so I looked at the guy, and all I said was security. That's all I said. Never heard from the guy ever again. They were very particular on not having anybody ruin one person, ruin 250 people's night that they paid for.
Right.
Because you can't, they're interrupted. It was just an interruption of rhythm. And that's what Carmen was running into. He was trying to get through his joke, and the two girls, they talked like they were, I don't know why people do that when they get drunk. They talk extremely, some people talk extremely loud.
You guys wasn't in the conversation. I was.
Volume control issue, yeah.
That one girl that was with her that was not totally drunk told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I did before the show.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you're not fucking telling us what to do. And I said, how much did you pay for your ticket? Since they came in when Carmen was running.
Yeah.
I said, how much did you pay for your ticket? And they said nothing. And I'm like, get the fuck out. And then that's when they left.
Yeah.
Well, the bartender sort of.
Yeah, he kind of escorted them out a little bit. Yeah.
But
shout out to him. I can't remember his name. It was the first time I ever saw him down there, but he handled the situation very well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Cove Nightclub, Tuesday nights.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
How much time we got?
We are at 6:51 currently, so give it about 9 minutes. Yep.
Okay.
All right, question number 43.
I'm out of questions. If you want to add anything, go ahead.
Anywhere that we can follow you? I mean, probably just Facebook, right? You got anything else?
I post every day on Facebook stuff, and
I've been seeing a couple zingers since you accepted your friend request.
Yeah, and observations, stuff I come up with. Sometimes I just post it and see what I get. You know, it's kind of a
sort of like touch and base to see what you
base.
get.
And that is just Booman Boothby on Facebook, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
I run mine by certain people in my life, and they help me build my joke, and then they get me the concept of the joke, and then I'll go and I'll add stuff to it.
I just got a kind of the same thing happened with me with that joke that I do about the West Virginia AI.
Yeah, I love that joke.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said that I should add. And I did a project in school where instead of doing the family tree, it was more like a Christmas wreath, and I thought that shit was pretty funny, so I added that in there.
Yeah, I noticed that last week.
Yeah.
Do you have anything where you're going to be at right now, or
no,
are you pretty quiet? You're going to come back to the Cove at some point.
Well, yeah, I'm going to.
And then August 16th,
I got to give you the dates.
Yeah.
And then
August 16th, he will be with us at that festival.
Yeah.
It is called the Thrive Together Festival.
Thrive Together.
Yes.
So then, I got to, with the summer being really busy.
Yeah.
It could be touch and go.
Touch and go, but come fall, things slow down, especially in the winter and spring.
Are you officially retired or are you semi-retired?
Yeah, I'm retired, but I work part-time over in Conneaut at a fabrication shop. I'm kind of, I'm the owner's big boy assistant.
Nice.
So I help them. I actually do a lot of AutoCAD work with designs and facilities. I used to draw facilities a lot. Used to work at Craftsmade down on Middlefield.
Same difference, right?
Yeah. They got that sign there where, welcome to Middlefield, where, that sign for Amish, where men are men and sheep run scared.
I have not been to Middlefield.
I almost became Amish one Friday night.
Really?
Yeah, but the LSD wore off.
I have not been to Middlefield since my first ex-wife. No, my first ex-wife.
So that's before me.
Left me the second time.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's way before I was conceived then.
She sent me to McDonald's. She said, get us a couple cheeseburgers and some fries.
Yeah.
I come back and she was gone. I'm like, at least I got my cheeseburger.
That's right. You ate all that shit, didn't you? You cried.
What were you doing in Middlefield? Living up there?
I met her in Geneva, and then her parents moved to Middlefield, and we just got back together. We've been together, back together for a week, and I guess she wasn't liking it, so she fucking took off again. I was stuck at her parents' house.
Oh boy!
I had to call my religious friends to come bail me out.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I could make jokes about all kinds of shit if I could ever just sit down and write.
Well, that's the thing, it's add and delete.
See, my problem, I don't know, you probably got this a lot whenever you were producing your stuff back in the old days where you and Mousy were finding the work,
Mm-hmm.
My problem is I'm looking for places for Wardy's Laugh Factory to be. I'm running this festival I want to run. It's very important to me, but I'm running different things, and it's hard for me to write jokes consistently. So, little by little, I got a lot of shit written down nobody's even heard yet. So,
yeah,
I'm sure you're the same way. I'm sure you're the same way that nobody's even heard it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've been using the Funny Farm for. Like every week, I'll go work on something that nobody's ever heard yet. Or heard once or twice.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on. Last week was I'm a chick magnet.
Oh yeah? Oh, I bet. That guy gets a lot of ass.
So I don't know about you, but I have trouble writing because of that issue. So you're going to be at the Cove several times this year. We'll be telling you when he's at the Cove because every week I'm going to tell you who's at the Cove. This is Geneva on the Lake, 5326 Lake Road, every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. This week we'll have Lex Vegas headlining it. I'm actually going to host it, I think, unless I can find a surprise host come in. Featuring Jimmy Ward III.
Hi.
And this flyer is wrong because
you got John
Jackson
Huff on
Cade is out and John Huff is in. A little replacement there, and my boy Timbuktu will be there. I love that guy.
I haven't met Timbuktu, actually.
You'll like Timbuktu. Okay. He's got a nice spirit about him. So we're about ready to wrap this up. Anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks for having me on the podcast. And,
we appreciate you being here. Like I said, hit me up. These shows are going once a week. I'm not doing really much Saturday shows for the rest of the summers because it's just hard.
Yeah, it is. It's too many.
And we're going to be hard focused on that festival.
And we're going to be hitting this festival hard, and we do have a show July 27th in Massillon, Ohio at Crackpots Comedy Club. Wardy's Laugh Factory will be invading Crackpots.
Oh boy. Massillon, haven't been down there yet, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, just watch the lights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be like, oh, he was fucking right again.
But, yes, that's what we have going on. And any last words, Wardy?
Oh, I'm a Wardy now?
He's a Wardy.
I'd hope so.
Well,
that's what the DNA test
yeah,
said.
the DNA test said, oh my God, he's fat him. Okay, got it.
Fat Jimmy Ward
Yeah.
Jr.
Anyway, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. Obviously, our main focus right now is just plugging away, and really, we want to bring the best to that festival. That's what I'm most engaged about right now. I'm excited as hell to be able to work on that with everybody, and I hope it's a great event, and we get a lot of people to come out, so we can do that every damn year. That's really what I get out of it.
Okay, and for me, like I said, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, be there.
We've had good turnouts. We've had good turnouts at the Cove recently.
Good turnouts, a lot of fun. You do not want to miss Lex Vegas. He has a lot of shit to throw at you in a hurry. So, my guy, Lex Vegas.
Anything else you got?
I got nothing.
Sweet.
Okay, so we're going to be signing off here. Thanks once again to George and Abraham Drinking Podcast for allowing us to have our show on here. The Mental Ward Show.
And thank you to Booman Boothby one more time for coming out and hang out with us.
Booman Boothby. Thank you.